Good day. Celeste de Haas from Remax Midlands. Today we are touching on the subject of the expropriation of land. But first we have to explain it in its simplest form, and we have to start with the meaning of expropriation. It is the action of the state or an authority of taking property from its owner for public use or benefit. The government has set the stage to push its radical proposal of expropriating land without compensation. One would ask, why the eagerness of expropriate land? The government views expropriation of land without compensation as a mechanism to readdress imbalances of the past, reduce inequality, promote land ownership and agricultural sector participation by Black people. It is under pressure to fast-track land reform. There are proposed changes to the constitutions. Under Section 25, the state can expropriate land in order to fast-track land redistribution for public purposes or in the public interest. This needs to happen by equitable compensation. What kind of property would be applied in the expropriation? There is no certainty on which land has been earmarked for purposes of expropriation. Residential, agricultural, communal or urban land might be up for expropriation. But judging by the recent debates, the state is mainly targeting expropriation of agricultural land. The question that needs to be answered is, what happens to agricultural debt in this case? Latest figures from the Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries show that agricultural sector debt was over 144 billion rand in 2016. The burden to the state might be enormous, as it would have to buy debt that is bonded to agricultural land. What about the parliamentary vote to finally pass the amendment? The proposal would have to be approved by at least 6 of the 9 National Council of Provinces. In addition, 2/3, about 67%, of the National Assembly would have to agree to change Section 25. Given that its majority has been on a steady decline, the ANC only holds 62% of the seats in the National Assembly. It has to look at joining forces with other opposition parties like the EFF, holding 6.4% of the seats, to change the constitution. It has been argued that if changes to Section 25, which forms of the part of the Bill of Rights, impede on the rights of the Constitution, then a 75% majority might be required. This might require taking the matter to the courts for a declaratory order. One of the questions is, how long will it take to confirm constitutional changes? It is reckoned that changes might take years, as South Africa's entire legal jurisprudence on property ownership is affected fundamentally. The expropriation of land without compensation impacts on other pieces of the legislation that have to be reviewed. These include the National Credit Act and Expropriation Act, which contemplates just and equitable compensation. It is a complete philosophy shift on how South Africa has looked at property rights and ownership until now. How does it impact the real estate industry? Well, certainty Well, certainties surrounding government expropriating land without compensation has slowed the appetite among investors for farms. The land issue has dampened buyer interest, causing indecision when it comes to deciding to purchase. When you add it all up, a new investment in a farm is a difficult proposition. Magnus Huystek wrote in MoneyWeb recently that farm prices have already dropped dramatically, while transaction levels have plummeted. So subscribe to our channel for more information. Pop us a mail or a message. Call us. We would love to hear from you. I am Dynamite Haas.